Good morning.
Good morning.
Again. This seems like an awful long series, doesn't it?
No.
It was only supposed to be 7 weeks, but with all the interruptions, it's just going on and on and on. And for those of you who don't know, we've been looking at Reverend Robin Ryder's material called Sacred Abundance. She has a series of CDs and a workshop out on this program that she developed for us to develop prosperity in our lives. So we've been having a class on Saturday afternoons and spending some Sunday mornings talking about these 7 different principles that will put us on the path to prosperity. And when I was thinking about this morning and the fact that we're at the 5th principle, it kind of dawned on me that some of you might question, why do you spend so much time talking about prosperity in Unity churches? Have you noticed that? You know, we have the 4T Prosperity Program, the 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwene Gaines, and Prosperity Plus with Marianne Morrissey, and it goes on and on and on, the keys to the kingdom. We spend a lot of time on this subject. And the thing I wanted to start with this morning is maybe clear up some confusion that this isn't about just getting rich. I mean, in an aspect, it is about getting rich, but not the way we think in human terms. This is not about having more money in your bank account. So that's not a bad thing. This is about getting rich, spiritually speaking. One of the things that I love about Unity is we don't have to wait to go to heaven, right? Until we die. That we can manifest the kingdom of heaven right here and right now. But the question is how? How do we experience that consciousness of heaven? How do we get out of the hell that many of us are living in? The suffering, the misery, the sadness, the pain, the fear, the anxiety, the worry. Well, that's what these prosperity programs are all about, folks. It's not about putting more cash in your pockets. It's about learning how to experience heaven in your life. Do you want that? To feel joy, to feel happiness, to experience wellness in your body temples, to experience abundance, and instead of worrying about lack, knowing that your source of supply is that God that is always with you. Having peace of mind regardless of the situation, regardless of the circumstances that are coming up in your lives. To be able to move through that with ease and grace, whatever it is that this world presents to you. You can move through it like that eye of the storm and the hurricane, just a stillness and a peacefulness. Does that sound good? Does it sound worth maybe spending 7 weeks on or much more? Because that's really what I'm talking to you about. When we talk about, you know, there's a reason that Robin called it sacred abundance. You know, there's a lot of money-making courses out there that have nothing to do with universal principle or nothing to do with looking at that aspect of ourselves that we are spiritual beings, having a human experience. But a lot of us are stuck just in the human experience, right? We've forgotten our spiritual nature. We've forgotten how that expresses itself. We've forgotten that it's God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. And so that's why I'm spending all the time on it. Good reason? Mm-hmm. So anyway, I just want to share that with you. You know, I have these things that kind of go through my mind, and I say, maybe I should mention this. So we've had some incredible principles so far in the program, and I know I keep reviewing them, but I do that because I don't think we can hear it too often until we start expressing it and living it. And for some of you, this is the first time you're hearing it. This might be your first time ever at a Unity church. So the first principle is putting God first. Robin calls it first things first, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what she called it? I have my students up here. They help me. And this seems so obvious and so easy. But again, with our human nature and getting caught up in all the details and events of our days, sometimes God comes last, right? If we're honest about it. So putting God first is looking at, is God a priority in your life? Is your spiritual practice a priority in your life? Where do you place your attention when you feel afraid? Where do you place your attention first when you worry? When something comes up that knocks you off balance? Where do you turn to? And this doesn't necessarily automatically happen for us, right, folks? One of my prayer instructor in seminary said you've got to prime the pump. You got to stay prayed up so that when the crisis happens, it's automatic. You just turn immediately to that one source, that one power, that one presence that rules and reigns in your life. And so this is something that if you throw out all the other principles, this is it, folks. I mean, Jesus taught, seek first the kingdom and its righteousness, and all other things will follow. So whatever that means for you, looking at it in terms of where are you putting your time, where are you putting your attention, your energy? How does God show up in your day? And if you don't like the word God, I understand that. Universal principle, divine energy, whatever you want to call it. Where does it come? Does it come first thing in the morning? If you have time? Well, I'm running a little late today, BJ. You know, I got up at 2 o'clock and set that clock back. So I'm just too tired to pray, to meditate. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. I always feel like that on Sunday morning because you're here. So you're putting God first. You know, there's a lot of things that are distracting us now, right? I mean, how many other things are happening on Sunday mornings? Soccer games and I don't know. There's so much going on that church is kind of becoming an archaic practice for a lot of us. They're talking about now having church on the internet. And I'm not saying that that's, listen to you, oh gosh. Hey, I was on the internet first thing this morning. You know, but it's the kind of thing where I still want to be able to see eye to eye with you. I want to be, and they say, okay, Skype it, BJ, but no. I want to be with you. I want to breathe in the breath that you breathe out. I want to have that connection. I want to be in relationship with you. I want to be in spiritual community with you as I seek after a deeper relationship with my God. So I hope we don't ever lose church. The second principle is what Robin called the bumblebee principle, right? Remember what that is? Knowing that with God all things are possible. Knowing with God that all things are possible. Again, this seems easy, but when you're looking at an empty bank account, if you're looking at being fired by your job, if you're looking at receiving a diagnosis of a serious illness or a terminal illness, whatever is showing up in your life, if you're looking at your teenager screaming in your face saying, I hate you, whatever it is, do you think, do you know, do you believe that all things are possible with God, that this too can change? This too can be different. This is not what the world is telling me, unless I believe that. And so it's about what Jesus taught us, being in the world but not of it. That's hard, right? Because we're of it, my flesh. But how do I start to move through this experience with a higher consciousness, a different way of seeing and perceiving? And then we have that third principle, the universe listens. It's listening. You know, we talked about this in class yesterday. Where are you putting your focus? Where are you putting your energy? Where are you putting your attention? Again, this is that law of attraction. Like attracts like. It's the law of mind action. The thoughts and feelings you hold in mind produce after their kind. And so again, the universe is going to respond to whatever it is that you're giving your attention to. So if you're worrying all day about something like lack in your life, what are you going to manifest?
Lack.
More lack. Again, it seems so easy, but it is a daily practice to start to pay attention to all these things that are going on. One of the things we focused on in class yesterday was language.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in my last church, I needed an I am police. I had, she's in seminary now. She's going to become an ordained